Oh, hello. Welcome to this episode of No Blasters and me, Kieran Bartlett, and this absolutely sexually explicit Siphon Filter t-shirt that I'm wearing. If you don't know what Siphon Filter is, have a wee drink and drive home. All right, now this is today's episode is I'm so happy and excited because we're joined by none other than the great Gianni Martin is here all the way from London, which we're gonna dig into in a wee minute, because I love it there. But also today's episode, before we get into it, is sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped.com is the home of the very best in male below the belt grooming. I am talking about pube ninjas here. We have pube assassins, pube thieves, pube abductors, whatever you want to call them, pube abusers, right? Like, this is like, you're thinking to yourself, yes, it's been a long, hot, humid summer. My bag's been moist. I'm looking into a dry and crisp autumn now, and I'm thinking I'll maybe go see Kieran Bartlett in 2 weeks' time in the Opera House. I want to have a clean, fresh bag for that. Go over to manscaped.com, pick yourself up a lawnmower 5.0 with skin-safe technology. This thing would work on the fucking backside of the moon, all right? That's how reliable it is. It'll take the pubes off the moon as well, so it's a great product. I highly recommend also the hedger and the weed whacker. Weed whackers for your nose and ear hair, and the handyman. So handyman, I think, does your beard. Hedger does like your lines. Maybe it's the other way around. All the way around. So yeah, we'll work that out. And then go over to that website, manscaped.com. Use the code NOBLASTERS20. That's the word NOBLASTERS, the number 20. NOBLASTERS20. All one word, 20% off and free shipping. We love them. They love us. OG sponsors, manscaped.com. Great times. Wee baldy bag. You love it. So today's episode also sponsored by Joxer. Joxer is the finest bistro on God's green earth. You're thinking to yourself, what am I going to have for brunch today? Don't worry, Joxer have got you covered. You fancy like a wee oaty bowl of like honey and oats and fruit and all? In the Joxer. You fancy yourself a full fry in the Joxer. Fancy a wee American style breakfast with like sugar pit bacon and like waffles and chicken and all? Joxer have got you covered. So get in there if you want to book a late table. So they open every day from 9 until 4, and they have locations in Hollywood, Hillsborough and Bangor. And then they open late from 5 until late, Thursday through to Sunday. So if you want to get in there, one of those late tables, book yourself a table at resdiary.com, search for Joxer, pick the location, pick your time and date, book it. It's a great time. They also have like special offers and special nights on. So I know at the minute there's like a cool steak night offer on out in Hillsborough. Fucking great times. We love them. They love us. The home of chaffles. A great time. They do all barista coffees and all. It's great. Just time to quickly tell you about my show at the Grand Opera House. So in about 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be doing a run of 8 shows there from the 23rd to the 28th. 2 shows on the 27th, 2 shows on the 20th. Some of those shows are currently sold out, which is great, I hope. And some of them are not. So get over to goh.co.uk. Now, if you were on our Patreon at patreon.com/noblasters, you would be getting 10% off because there's an offer on there right now. 10% off all those tickets. You would also be getting access to a podcast called No Blasters Extra Time that comes out every Thursday. You would get all my comedy specials. You would get, so it's like Goblin King, Majestic, and Giant. All those shows are filmed live and put on there. You would get Smells Bitch in our cookery segment. There's loads of stuff on there. Travel logs and all we do, and we go away places. It's a great thing for £3 a month at patreon.com/noblasters. So get over there, check it out. Let's get stuck into today's episode. I'm going to say it, my best mate, Jonny Martin.
Tears.
Are you sure?
Thanks for having me, mate.
All the way from London, mate. Oh my God.
London, darling.
You love it there, don't you?
Love it.
I fucking hate it.
Mate, it's a great place.
No.
Come on.
What, is it a great place? It's, no. Look, I'm breaking the rules.
The hatred is
I
strong
don't
in this
like
one.
It. I don't like it. You were saying the other day that very often, if you were doing like a working day in London outside the house, you'll get in about 6:30, and you're in bed within an hour.
Yeah,
Like,
that's more to do with personality than London,
I don't
though.
think it is. I think that's London. It
But
fucks
you
me.
can get, at any time of day, there'll be something awesome on, or something. You feel like you get treated better. You feel like you get privileges being in London.
I always feel
get
like,
access.
I always feel like I'm out of that loop because I'm only there for a day or two.
Yeah,
So I don't know
you
how to.
kinda
I
have-
don't know how to access anything.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting is the hustle and bustle and the rudeness of London, and none of the reward,
perks.
You know?
Oh, it's great.
Oh no.
Here, in terms of food and stuff, you've got it all. It's all there. Anything and everything. All the
Wagamama.
genres.
So like.
All the chains as well.
Yeah. So like, so the closest thing we have to London here is probably Lisburn Road.
Classic. Well,
So isn't it?
dress code wise,
Dress code, stupid wee shops with just people's names
Yeah.
on them.
lots of that.
Hi, this is Laura Baker.
Just any two names.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Keith Duffy. I don't know. Just fucking
Anything that's artisanal or bespoke.
bespoke.
Yeah.
So we stopped on Lisburn Road this morning for a little pick me up. We bought some drugs off somebody, but no, we
Local dealers.
went in the Cafe O there. If you're wondering why there's rye flour all over my tits, it's because I had a wee. Do you know what I had? I had pizza this morning. That's essentially what I had. It's a brat. It's a wee sandwich that comes. They toast it and has like some dirty sauce in it, a bit of chicken, smoked chicken, mind you, and a wee bit of chorizo.
Oh, he's gone for the chorizo.
I went for the.
He's cultured. He's
Yeah,
cultured. He
very
knows it.
easy, right?
Yeah.
So I went in and got that because, right, you're saying to yourself, Twank, you're not meant to be eating pizza in the morning anymore. And I'm going, I know, right? Because as I said to Johnny, you can make a choice like that when you're 21. It means nothing. At 37, you have that thing before 10 a.m. in the morning. You're choosing to have a terrible afternoon in
But it's
order
30
for the
seconds of
short-term
joy.
gain of the pizza, right? The 2 minutes it'll take you to eat it. So why was I doing that? Because we were working yesterday. We're going to come back to Lisburn Road this morning, by the way. Don't worry. This all seems tangential. There's so many tangents already. Last night I'm taking Johnny was like, I'm a wee bit nervous about coming on the podcast. Chloe's like, don't be, I was nervous, it's fine. And then both of them sort of look around at me and they have a conversation with me in the room about how I love to go off on tangents and
Yeah.
wouldn't it be great if those tangents were always funny? And I'm like, fuck yourselves
Well,
now.
it's expectation, Twank.
It's expectation.
You're bringing the funny. That's
I
your
am,
job.
but it's like, do you know what? The shittest joke I have comes from the same place as the best one. I have to be allowed to explore. Now, so
Well, Chloe does a great job of just keeping you in check.
do you know what she does a great job of? Getting right into the most sensitive part of
Yeah, I bet she does.
of my heart and going just a wee Bruce Lee 1-inch punch, right? Just a wee fucking right. Like she goes to me the other day when I was like I was working on something. It was actually, do you know what it was? It was a lip sync video that we were doing for the Opera House. So I was doing a wee lip sync of Stifler from like American Pie. I want to say the reunion. What one or the wedding? The one where he's been given a wedding ring.
Right.
And a dog eats it, and he's waiting for the dog to take a shit, and he goes like, you know, do it. Don't fuck around. Do it now. I'm sick of waiting. And it took me maybe 10 or 20 goes to get the lip sync right. Okay. Yeah. And Chloe goes, see now, after about 5 failed attempts, goes, I mean, do you want to do something else? Because this is only, like, this is better when it's good. Like,
Critical
it's funny,
feedback.
It's funny when it's good. And I'm like,
Chloe knows funny.
do you know what it is? That's like somebody missing a penalty, though, and somebody going over going, you're meant to hit it in.
Yeah.
You're meant to score.
They're way better
You're
when it
supposed
goes
to
in.
score the penalty because everyone loves it. Everyone will be cheering if you'd scored that, and now they're not. You're like, cheers. So on Lisburn Road this morning, we saw a guy go past. This is the first thing. This is when we knew it was London. Guy went past. By the way, on Lisburn Road, pre-10 o'clock in the morning, not a fucking sock in sight, right? No one has socks. Some guy was walking past and he did have socks, but why did he have socks?
Because he also had his calves
Because
out.
he was trying to draw attention to his wee Franz Kafkas, right?
No, they were sizable calves.
They were, mate, this
Yeah.
guy's calves
Yeah.
were like a great.
Yeah.
It was like a great set of tits. I was like,
Yeah. Sweet calves.
they real.
Yeah.
it was unbelievable.
Popped in for a decaf.
Oh, we did. Oh, yeah. I just calf too.
Oh,
right. So anyway, London. No, can't remember. I've lost the tangent. See, this is what happens then, people. This is what they were talking about.
This is what happens after you've had pizza for breakfast, Twink.
having
You had 30 seconds of joy, and now you're on an absolute carb
Why was
crash.
I having pizza? It wasn't. Dan's disgusted because he was out of the room. It wasn't real pizza. It's a brat at a cafe. Now, is it a wee? Is it a wee bit?
It's
more
a German
lunchy?
pizza.
It's a bit more
Yeah.
lunchy than brunchy, right? But fuck it, and I'll tell you why I was having it. Because people are going, don't make those choices anymore, Kieran. We love you. Right now, listen. Listen.
But I love pizza.
I was having it because of years of addictive behaviour. No, I was having it because last night we were working on stuff for the Opera House, right? And time was flying, and we didn't even really notice, to be fair.
Yeah.
We had a late lunch.
Yes.
And then, so when it came to like dinner time, we just went through dinner time. We were working like it wasn't even that late, but it was late enough that the only options you really have to eat are shit. You're going to be eating shit food.
It was
right?
10ish by the time we were...
Right? So we dropped Johnny home instead because he was like, I'm not going to eat with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to recharge my batteries, right? So he went home. And then on the way home, I said to Chloe, do you know what's sort of sad? The only places that are really open at this time are like pizza places and Chinese and all. And I don't want it. I'm trying to behave, right? So we went to a garage.
You're like, I'm saving my pizza for the morning.
Went to a shop where, and this isn't the first time this has happened, but I bought something for myself and I've paid for it. And then I'll leave the shop with my wee bag. And when I get home, some of those items aren't there.
Oh, someone is fucking with
I
you.
think they're gaslighting me.
They are definitely playing little games, little late night games.
I bought Chloe cream eggs during Lent this year in there.
During Lent?
I know. That's that's the best.
Sacrilegious.
Time. But that's the best. That's the best time to get them though, because other people are off them and they're everywhere, right? And so I got her some in there, like they were on an offer for like. It's not 2 for 1. I think it's 2 for £1 or something.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we discovered last night. The price of chocolate these days. Mate, a fudge, like a fucking finger of fudge. A wee fucking 2-biter.
A wee 15p fudge?
At 25p, mate. A Milky Way. A Milky Way. The 2-pack of Milky Way.
Yeah.
£1. A fucking King's pound.
M's London prices, Twink.
And a normal Milky Bar, like a Milky Bar, that the only way to eat it is to get 2 and have 1 for each hand.
Absolutely. The thinnest chocolate ever.
£1 for the thinnest. It's not even real. It's
not a full
chocolate.
bar. It's just it's a hint of a
milk.
chocolate bar.
It's hard milk. Mate, I couldn't believe it. But anyway, these are fucking gaslight me. I will get you. Fucking
Someone's playing
my
games.
night. I ended up having Cocoa Pops. The end of a box of Cocoa Pops, so it was mostly dust.
Do you think there's going to be a plot twist and you'll find all those
All
items
those things
in Chloe's like cupboard?
Yeah, we'll see, because she that sounds like I keep her in a cupboard as well.
Let's go back to your cupboard.
Yeah, you know that bit of the house you keep her, the Chloe cave. So we what the fuck was I gonna say?
Late night action?
No. we were talking about. I think these are gaslighting me. I can't remember what I was going to say about it.
Well, what did you have? What did they gaslight you with?
They gaslit me. Oh, I know. I was going to say sorry over the eggs, over the cream eggs.
Okay.
I came back and I had one of them, but I definitely bought 2, and I had one to give Chloe, and I was like, I bought you 2 of those. They haven't given me that, and I still think that Chloe thinks I had it.
Yeah, she's like, this is either like really low budget memento where you can't remember that you've eaten a cream egg.
Yeah.
Or you've barefaced lied to her. I'm like,
yeah.
I wanted to have 2 eggs.
I bought you 2 of those, and I fully ate one, but I won't tell you about it.
Yeah.
I'm just, she's waiting on me taking a shit to see if she can pick the tinfoil out. So because I just ate it. They're like, how do you eat yours? I'm like, foil and all, foil and all.
Ain't got time to pee.
Yeah, they thought. It's unbelievable. They fucked me with. I was gonna get a wee tagliatelle, made a wee fresh bag of tagliatelle.
Oh, he's going posh.
I was gonna have some of that.
Bespoke and artisanal.
I was gonna have a wee handful of artisanal tagliatelle.
Yeah.
With a dolmio stirring, which I know is sacrilegious. But I was very hungry.
At least go Lloyd. Go Lloyd Grossman, mate.
Oh fuck Lloyd. Who would use a sauce like this? His sauces are shit.
Oh, I love his wee chili one. I used to live on that
they're
stuff.
Like water, no.
Oh, he does a wee like a hot chili He does a red one. That's
do
me.
you know what sauce
Culinary.
used to sicken me like a bot sauce? Do you remember the one and it was 2 pots. So one had like a wee pot of like rotten onions and all on top, like wee fucking factory onions, all jammed in the shit, and then the sauce, and you have to like cook that bit off first and then add that. Jar sauces are so shit.
They are.
This is something you realise when you're about 25 and you start actually.
But you start caring about it as well.
Yeah, but you start realising that like instead of dolmio, which is like a few pound, you could buy a tin of tomatoes and some herbs for £1.
Yeah.
And have a better sauce. You know what I mean?
But you were like, it's too late for that.
It's all about taking the time, darling, to care for yourself.
Taking the time as he throws another cream egg
straight in the foil, the toil. So, like, tell me this then. So, for the people that don't know, some people are maybe going, who are these people?
Is this guy?
I'm Kieran Bartlett. This is Jonny Martin. So, Jonny was one half of Side Project.
Side Project.
Which is what we called our artisanal bespoke
acoustic
two piece. And we were together, we were one half and separately 1/4 of the band.
And half of us was 1/8.
Yeah. My right side was 1/8 of the band, Thief. So like
we spent way too much time together playing in pubs.
Yeah, didn't we?
Like way too much time.
It was great though.
It was great.
So like right, let's talk about this, right? So Thief was first. We had our band.
You'd come out of a band.
I left the band.
Yeah.
I was in a dark place. I left a successful pop punk band called Steer Clear, and I was floating around not doing much. I played a bit of Irish music, War Kev, and then we were at each other's throats because Kev wouldn't allow me to play. You know when you're holding, say for talk's sake, a wee A minor.
Yep.
You might just for something texturally interesting, you might throw on a wee
9.
Is that a wee?
Add
Is
a wee 7. Add a 9. Take off for a wee 7.
Yeah, and definitely you would do a wee A minor 7 for sure, right? Kev wouldn't accept anything but.
He's a purist. That's because he's a purist.
He wants the strict Christie A minor. He's like, does it say A minor 7 in Christie's book? No, play A minor. And I was like, does it say these lyrics in Christie's book that you're singing? No. Right?
Shots fired, Kevin.
Right? And
the people want the public response.
And so we ended up. I wouldn't even say we're at each other's throats. We had a few gigs and it was good. But then I was working in Tesco. And our mutual friend PB came and gave us introduced us. I was actually working on a till and he was like, these are these lads I was telling you about that are in a band. You might be right for them. They're
You're like,
for a singer.
Why are you hassling me?
And I was like,
sick.
I fucking work here. Right? Yeah. I'm trying to put through some fucking cream eggs here, right? So like and you gave me, I remember you gave me a wee purple CD that had some rudiments, some rudimentary,
some instrumentals,
thief tunes on there, and I listened to it, and it had kind of like
bit of a mixed bag of genres, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, but one of them particularly had like a band that I loved that I was never anywhere near being in a band playing that type of music was the Chili's. And this had like a Chili Pepper vibe off it, and I was like, I could be DTF here. And so I went back, and then one of them was kind of a bit stadium rocky. Yeah. And then one of them was a bit.
This is good knowledge. Twank, you remember so much.
2 of them were a bit chiliesy, but one of them was a wee bit stingy as well.
Oh well.
Poison stingy, right? and then this other one, the fourth one was like quite rocky, like, and we never really played. I think we only played it once or twice outside. But like the other ones,
I think the only thing that ever happened with that was you went away.
So yeah, I went away and wrote lyrics for these songs, right?
Yeah, and then it was, well, let's get together and we'll play some music and do some stuff.
So we did the chili peppery one first, and everyone was like,
"Here, mate, you did the songwriting thing on like, this is great.
There's magic happening here, right?" We did the next week chili peppery one. People are like,
this is going surprisingly well.
We do the third one, which is that quite rocky one.
Let's kick into some rock.
And I started it off with like a...
Twanky went full metal. Full metal.
And the drummer just went... Stop, went, no!
JC was brilliant. He just went, no, we don't do that.
We don't do that. And I was like, all right, you wee bitch. And so...
Heroic move from JC. So, yeah, I love it.
And then so like we practiced loads for a long time. We wrote more songs. Big songwriter guy, this guy.
Love songs, mate.
Loves writing songs. And then we were gigging as that band. And I was already in uni and you were on 6th year.
Yeah. Would we be? Yeah, we would have been.
You were on upper 6th and I was in first year uni maybe? Or
that probably would have been it, yeah.
And then, but like by the time we got to that summer then where I was going to be going to 2nd year and you were starting uni.
Yeah.
We were really gigging quite a bit then. And then it was around... Yeah, it was later that summer that I got asked to play acoustic stuff. So I'd played music at a party one night. And a girl that was at that party knew a guy who was running a nightclub and was like, you two should speak. He's looking for somebody to play acoustic stuff out the back of the nightclub. And that's how McCracken started. But it was called O'Neill's at that time.
Oh my God.
Club On.
I remember that first night because you asked me to go with you. Not like, mate, we've got a gig or anything. It was just like, mate, I have to do this thing.
Jonny,
any chance you could come and stand beside me? Because this is weird.
Yeah, even though I'm 19, I have crippling fear of being murdered in the centre of town. So will you stand near me and at least tell my story to my mother? What
happened to him?
I know, yeah.
What did the guy look like?
Kicked to death because he couldn't play all of other side, right? Yeah. So like
what's most mental about that is you went down and did
with
it
about 7 songs,
and there was no equipment or anything. It was just like do acoustic music out the back.
Literally no microphone, no amp, no leads, no speakers.
Twanky turning up in an R&B hip hop club.
R&B hip hop on the inside. I'm out the back, and at this point.
Outside isn't the thing, really. It's just smokers.
Outside is just an alleyway, right? And I'm standing there. I'm sitting there on a wee rotten silver chair, right? With my wee shitty acoustic, right? Like, and just going, hello, won't last later. And then every now and again, Jonny, potentially even weirder.
I think we're
standing in the background going...
Because it wasn't requested of me, and I was just like,
I don't believe it's bad.
It's the worst habit in the world that will always happen. Is I'll be like, that would be a good point for a harmony.
I know.
Can't resist saying it.
The harmony might sound like, right? So like
horrible.
And then over time, like I think we did that.
It was like next week you were like, mate, you should bring your guitar because you should do more of that.
Yep.
And then we could both do it.
And then we did that. I remember saying that, but for a long time, I was getting paid and giving you a wee bit of what I was getting paid, and then we were like, Johnny's kind of doing half this, at least half of this work. Let's fucking. And do you remember at the start though, we only had about literally 7 or 8 songs that like I knew to play the whole way through and sing that I was confident doing that were songs that people would like.
Appropriate songs, that's the other thing.
Because there was loads of like, you know, I could have sat and played loads of Green Day.
Yeah.
Or loads of like Blink. But nobody wanted that. They wanted those like more like
what's contemporary, what's cool,
crowd pleasers. So even stuff that was maybe 10 years old, but was like, you know, they wanted Wonderwall and fucking. So there was a few Oasis. There was Waitus. Waitus was an early hit, like, and shit like that. And so like I remember, maybe about 5-6 months after that, like I mean, coming into the spring the following year, we've been doing it every Saturday. And coming into the spring the following year, I said to the guy, "Listen, like, can we start using mics and speakers out here? Because like my throat is shot the fuck like." And Johnny knows what he's doing with all that, and we're in a band, and it'll be sweet. And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Can you fucking pay us?" Like, and he did, right? And then we just started doing that, and it sort of took off because then that was when
there was a great wee buzz around that.
More people started coming out the back and all, and it was just class, wasn't it? Like,
it was very, very good. And it was a regular thing, and because it became a regular thing, and it was a bit more of a showpiece.
Yeah, some people started
were like, "We'll come to sit out the back."
And then we started. I'm not even saying we took it more seriously, but we started like just getting better and like having like a full repertoire of like you know, if we're playing for 2 hours. We've actually maybe got 4 hours of songs.
We had options rather than just the songs.
So a couple of my key, what you might describe as core memories of that time. One was my deep hatred of the song "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac.
What's interesting, right? I was thinking about this the other day. It's not like "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac was what it is now, because Dreams by Fleetwood Mac wouldn't have been on the radio loads.
No.
The Coors version would have been more well known.
That's the difference.
But like, still, I forced you to play that.
What would happen would be Johnny would go, he'd hold the chord. It's the only song that we have that starts with an F major 7. I would say I'm holding it, and I'd go, please don't do that this week. And he just goes, pring, ding, ding,
once
ding, bum, bum.
Once you get going, you can't stop. It's just like, here, what's this week?
Up, and I'm literally like this before singing it, just being like, for fuck's sake.
Twanky, get out from underneath that bus and start singing.
Oh, fucking hated that hard. And then another core memory. Right, so this is real. So like, so when we got speakers, I remember we went and bought speakers off like a guy that we knew, his cousin was selling speakers, and we went and bought these 2 off him that were like the size of your ma's garage, right?
Fucking
they were like
fridges. They were literally like
I swear to God, it was that width, because you would hold it like that, and you had to waddle with it like you were, what do you call your man, Eddie? I nearly said Eddie Howe, but it's not him. We call the fucking strong man Eddie Hall, right?
Oh,
Eddie Howe.
Deep cut.
Yeah, fucking just like you had to fucking waddle with it, right? And then I always just remember like deferring a lot of that to Johnny. I'd be like,
mate, I gotta go get my capo from inside. I'd be like,
listen, my dad is giving us a lift.
Yeah, so
you're going to lift these speakers.
Pony up, Johnny.
Yeah. And Johnny would have to get up on like this bench out the back and like jam these things on these 2 brackets that were up on the wall. A complete health and safety nightmare.
Yeah.
People sitting under them, and they're like hammered into a wall that was built when fucking Henry Joy McCracken was alive.
I'm pretty sure those brackets were designed to hold, like, those hanging baskets.
Oh yeah, like a
hanging baskets. And we were like, that's the appropriate length, just to slot a huge speaker into.
This speaker is made of the same material from Neptune, so it's pretty dense. That's just right. We got it up there, and then I also remember loads
Speaking
of
of health and safety, the wall.
So there was this wall, right? So we'd be playing, facing out. I would be on your other side, though, right? I was always on the left, Johnny's on the right. And they gave us like a windbreaker, like a Copperberg windbreaker.
Yeah.
Because people used to like just come up.
Get a wee bit too close to mics.
And this would happen.
Oh.
Into your mouth, just like fucking microphone.
It's the worst feeling in the world.
And do you know what it makes you... Do you ever have like a cut inside your nose? Do you ever get this?
Yeah.
And it's like I have one right now, and it's like a stingy fucking... You just touch it, even you're putting a jumper on, you just touch it and go... See when you get hit in the mic, hitting the mouth with a mic, it takes you from I'm singing a song to I will fight anyone in seconds. It's
the worst feeling ever, though. It's just like...
Smash your teeth and you're like, you fucking... Right? And then you have to just go, gig, right? So, like, they gave us this windbreaker, and then we'd sit behind that, and then, so we're playing, us, windbreaker, wall behind us.
Several feet in front of us.
A few rows of people all standing, bouncing and all in front of us, right? And then just at the stupidest place, a wall about 1 foot off the ground.
A good shin height.
Just ran up the length of this place, right? And people could stand on either side of it, and people used to sit on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened every week? People would be dancing and jumping around and just crack themselves. They would just clip that wall.
Yeah.
How many shoes get lost in that drain as well?
Yeah.
Shoes ruined. People
high heels. People in their high heels.
Specifically, people wearing these fucking like the most expensive high heels you've ever seen. Just fucked. Me and Johnny are just sitting there being like,
"Oh, it's another one."
Here, it's Brown Eyed Girl, right? Yeah. So like, a key memory as well would have been, I remember you. So a couple of times. This only happened a couple of times, but it's in there forever.
Yeah.
The kettle lead. So, like, Johnny would have been using some of our gear in the house to record. And occasionally he'd forget the kettle lead, which is like...
The power cable.
The power cable for an amp or something. Or, for our wee PA. But it's like a lead that, like shitty portable kettles use. And we used to have to run into this. There was a wee stinky spar.
There was like several places we'd hit up at different points.
Different bars, be like,
any chance you got a kettle lead?
We need that because neither of us drive.
Yeah. You guys shouldn't do teas today. We'll take that kettle lead.
Oh my god, stress of like, oh Jesus, where's Mike's? Oh
yeah.
Jesus,
oh, it's horrible.
Oh, is this the right bag? Oh, I also remember getting a lot of raps. out of Creighton's after those gigs?
Post gig,
Chicken Caesar.
Oh yeah, chicken Caesar wrap.
Yeah,
Wee bag of squares.
Wee bag of
salt and vinegar squares.
Wee bag of squares, or I used to get do you know what I used to get quite a lot off? I don't know if you remember these. Wisps. Texan Grill wisps. They were wee stinkies.
Are they crisps or are
yeah,
they what?
I'm not sure if Tato make them. They're like wee stinky. They're meant to be healthy, but I get about 4 bags of them. Wisps. I would get those. They were wee dirts. It was a great time. I have fond memories.
I like that the core memories are health and safety, snacks.
Yeah, because all the do you know what? Because the music was taken for granted.
Like, that's all right.
There were very few times. We played doing that stuff for 4 or 5 years, pretty much, before you moved to London, and it was like, I can only really remember maybe 2 times where we had like, sort of like, interesting that you would totally fuck me over there.
It's weird that you do that.
Yeah, I think we only ever had words twice.
Yeah,
maybe twice.
And that was usually in and around times where we had. So after having that one regular gig, then we started getting gigs in other places. Yeah. Then we started getting weird gigs in some weird places.
Like
Frank hooked us up with one in IKEA. That was interesting.
Oh, I fucking
if anyone's ever walking around IKEA and being like, "Is that a Chili Peppers cover?"
Yeah. Do you know what there's lots of great flat pack furniture and ideas for a home, but it's sort of missing 2 guys.
Yeah, sitting weirdly in situ,
sitting playing Sting's lesser known hits, such as "Mad About You." But anyway, I remember. So that gig was actually 3 days of 3 sets.
Yeah.
Which we did at another place as well, if you recall, the Tall Ships.
Oh my god, I think that's probably
trauma
was the most weird kind of just. It wasn't music; it was endurance music.
Yeah, because definitely on any day doing 3 gigs would be a lot.
Yeah,
and doing that for 3 days in a row, and also if you recall, on the Saturday, I don't know if you remember this, on the Saturday of the Tall Ships, we actually did 4 at the Tall Ships and the Krakens that night. So it was 5 2-hour sets that day. That's 10 hours of music. That's Bruce Springsteen is saying, lads, get
that's
off
half a Bruce Springsteen set.
Bruce Springsteen's going, lads, get off the fucking stage, right?
Come on, you're milking it a bit.
So stinking. And if you think about it, we were doing, mate. See, when I think about what we were charging for that, I go, we should have had
an absolute price.
We should have had a house for that. Like,
yeah.
We get fucked so badly. Like, I remember the phrase, "It's a once in a lifetime opportunity."
To play in front of some Tall Ships.
Was thrown out at me. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I was like, the Tall Ships are literally here about
every
8
year.
times in my life so far.
Every year. Yeah.
Fucking rare. But that one, I remember us having words one night in Lily's.
Right.
Which is right towards the end though. This was like
Lily's had gone through 3 iterations of being called different things, and we gigged at all of them.
We played for all of them.
For all of them, it's like, have us back, guys, don't worry.
Here, we're not harming your business.
Yeah.
Bring us back. Feed us, though.
Yeah.
Handsomely. Yeah. So, like, do you remember when it was Monzoo? Yes. There was a couple of times when Lily's was called. So this is, what do you call it now, Dan, on Lisburn Road, a big bar. Fucking... was Tattoo.
It's opposite Arizona, the cafe. Is it like a
Arizona's
French name?
Gone now, by the way.
Oh, is that not there?
Yeah, it's in Alleytown now.
I'm up on.
Yeah, is it French now?
It's French. It's there was sort of French.
And then I was the thing. That's even gone. It's not. Is it the Vintner or something? Is that it? It was called the Albany for a long time, which I also gigged in. I think I've done 4.
You've done 4.
I think I've done 4 iterations of that place. So anyway, when it was called Monzoo, though, apart from the fact that it was decorated like a fucking Hearst palace, they did a stupid thing where they would bring us in to play music on a Saturday afternoon. There's literally no one there.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to them,
we should start later.
We can come in later, and this will be better. And definitely don't have us on during the Six Nations, which is when they started. They're like, we want to offer an alternative to the rugby. I'm like, every cunt in Belfast is watching the rugby.
No one wants the alternative.
No, and then, do you know what they ended up doing? Like, on several of those gigs, we'd get there's literally no one there, and the chef would just be like, I'll just make his food.
Yeah.
And we were like,
and I'll just make
we'd play a wee bit of Fragile or something, wee bit of Wheatus.
That's when you plunder the Sting
back
catalogue.
Yeah,
that's at that point.
Johnny, I'm going to do these Damien Rice B-sides here. Get ready. This one's at sea. Of course it is. Right? And we would do that shit, and then we get free burgers. It was class.
Yeah.
Now, I remember us having words one night specifically. Now,
No, I don't remember this, so I don't know what's about to happen here.
no, it's all good. I think
No,
it's,
you're
it's
like-
it's funny. I was right, but it's funny. And there's a so I'm only joking. This is what happened. So this was like, I want to say this was, didn't you moved in like late, but like
September.
So, but you went away, I think, in August.
Yeah, me and
Or
JC
something.
went to Thailand for
Right.
like a good load of weeks.
So this is like
Yeah.
a couple of weeks before that. So tensions are a wee bit like, just a wee bit sort of like, I'm going, Johnny's leaving. I can't really play the guitar. They were like, you should say to me about going to London. I was like, I'm going to stay here. Right. So I just sort of remember a couple of wee things that happened this week where it was like, where we hadn't like lined up normally the way we normally did with stuff. Like, like just like, I'll be here, you'll be there. It'll all work out.
Yeah.
I was sort of a wee bit like, and I was chronically late getting to this gig. Like, I think we were playing at 9:30, and I got there at like 22, which is pretty bad because that means actually you've set everything up.
Yep.
But and you're sort of sitting.
No change there, Twink. No change there.
But at least I would be there to pretend.
You looking at me doing it?
Like, Leeds.
Did you want ice in your water?
Johnny,
I'll go back
Johnny,
and get you some.
I've got the waters and booked the next 2 months of shows.
Yeah.
The speaker's done. I don't want. They're not. I don't want to lift them. Right. So you had set everything up, and you were sitting. So we used to play in front of a piano there, right? Oh, yeah. And you were sitting there on the stool like this. And I arrived, and I was like, "Oh Jesus, he's already gone quite morose, right?" And I came in, and I was like, "Well," and you were like, "Let's just get started here because it's late." And I was like, "Oh fuck." I'm like, right, fuck, let's get it on. Right, so we do the gig. Or sorry, we go to do the gig.
Yeah.
And I goes to you, where's your mic? And you went, forgot it. So you had no mic.
As I'm just like,
You're just sitting there with a guitar.
I'll just be doing guitar tonight, Twink.
And I was like, what about the
can do
backing
the singing.
vocals? What about the backing vocals? And you were like, well, forgot my mic. And I was like, and I'm sort of laughing in my head going, he's trying to give me shit
Yeah.
about being late, but whether I was here on time or not, there's no mic.
There's no mic, so don't worry about it.
So that happened, and I was like, right, and we did the gig and it was fine. But then after there was a bit of a lateness doesn't happen, and I'm like, microphone. Is there a mic?
You had 1 job, Johnny.
I remember that. I cringed thinking of that. But I think I was I'm saying 2 times. I think I might have been the only time I can remember us actually being like.
But even at that, there's no real.
There's no
there was no fallout even. So it was kind of like, yeah. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get from Creighton's?
You're paying for the squares.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking unbelievable. What a great time. And then so London for the last 14 years, 13 years?
Oh, 14 years in September, that'll be. That's insane.
That is a bit fucking
Mate, I'm
mad.
only 18 years old. I don't know what
I know,
you're
mate. I feel like I'm about 24.
Yeah, I'd say I'm early 20s.
Yeah, but like fucking...
Apparently not, though.
Oh, man, it's so minging. Like, as I was saying earlier, like, you have a pizza in the morning now, like...
Yeah.
You're thinking about it.
You'll pay for it.
I'm paying for it right now. It's like every couple of minutes now I'm just... when you
come back out.
when you just swallow a burp before it comes out, you just go... And I am. So what's been the crack in London then? What do you do over there?
Musicking. I've been super lucky. Like, so kind of headed over, not knowing anyone or anything set up, and it was more like look, just go over and see what happens. But
I didn't have the bag for that.
It's like, it's almost a silly thing to do, but it's just kind of like, I wanted to do more kind of production and composition and songwriting and all that kind of stuff. And there wasn't really an industry here around that. So heading over there with JC, we moved over and it was kind of like, you find a place. And you
This is a friend of ours called Johnny as well. So he's just JC. It's not actually Jesus Christ.
It's just me and JC.
Yeah.
The Lord, you know.
Imagine that's actually what you're on about.
I'm just really pushing hard for that. By the grace of God, I moved over to London. No, so at that, so it was more like go over and see what the crack is, see if you can do something. And since then, I've been super lucky to kind of like meet people and work on some stuff. And it's kind of, this is one of the good things about London. I'm a wee tart in terms of I want to do everything.
Yeah.
It's never just been I just want to write songs or I just want to do theatre or just want to do film or anything like that. So you get to work with lots of different people that are kind of like music adjacent. So I've been did a load of gigs there, like a load of function stuff, played for some artists, did some tours, then got into theatre, worked with a load of awesome people, done a load of international theatre doing like orchestrations or production and that kind of thing. Bit of playing for
Currently
stuff.
doing some orchestrations for somebody we know.
Oh, big Belfast name. Certainly, sir.
Drive down, I can't remember the name of that road. Great Victoria Street.
You might see a wee poster.
See him on the side of the wall, looks something like this.
But yeah, so getting to do a whole lot of different stuff. And I've kind of gotten to the position now where I kind of get work sent to me from like multiple agencies. So like my bread and butter is like TV adverts.
Can we talk about any of those? Can we talk about a famous one that people would know?
Yeah.
Flash. That's this guy. That's this guy.
So I work for a company, the Futz Butler lads, and they put me in charge of like pitching for that one. So it's hilarious when you see it on TV.
Brian Bless it.
So Big Brian is on a couple. Now they've changed to Hugh Dennis.
Oh right, okay.
The newer ones are now Hugh Dennis in it. And I have a funny story to say, but I won't say here. Dangling it. On
the Patreon?
Yeah. And so you get to do loads of different shit though. So it's like day to day, you'll get sent different briefs, and it's usually they're not as.
Sorry, that's just funny to me. Brand
boxers. But you'll like it's not as specific as that job. That job is very specific. It has to do a specific thing, and you're working with the team doing it, which is great fun. Essentially, work out how to sound like Queen. That's your job. Great. And then use these lyrics. But you'll get like different brands and different companies are going to do an advert campaign, brand X, and their campaign will be, and then insert lots of contradictory terms.
Yeah, we want
some natural, organic, acoustic, really industrial metal edginess.
Yeah.
And you're like, great.
Some of that early Celtic Trinidadian folk.
Exactly. That we're so au fait with.
Yeah.
And so then you've got time to, like, you just kind of have to jump straight in, start working on it, and turn it around. It's usually pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah. And
you're pitching normally, depending on what the job is, you're either working with a company for a longer period and it's nicer because you're the only people on the job.
Yeah.
Or you're pitching against loads of other composers.
Yeah.
And if you have smashed the weird brief, then you win, and then you continue working with them and all that kind of jazz. So it means like you just have to be a bit
jazz,
so it's a bit of jazz. So you have to be like a bit of a chameleon, and that's what I love about it, because it's the
stand-up chameleon. Better jokes.
Grand Opera House, 23rd of the 28th. So you mean all the music nerdiness that you know I love.
Oh, you do love it,
like what makes a song sound a certain way, what makes a genre sound a certain way, what production is that?
Yeah.
You get to just kind of play around with that all the time. So it's like that's like my day-to-day jobs come through and you just jump on and you have to do it. And then at the same time, like working for like a few artists and stuff. Artist that from here working with just finished her EP. It'll be awesome. You should have her on whenever everything's getting released.
Can we say her name?
You probably could.
This is Rasha.
Rasha. So
if you're wanting to Google this, it's noise but with an R instead of an N.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
People will spell that ROCHA, but it's ROISE.
That's exactly it.
And type in music after that, and you'll get pretty sweet shit. Like So she did that. What was that Radio 1 cover?
So she did a few TikToks and it went a bit mental.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter, Espresso.
Yeah.
And then Radio 1 picked it up and they had her on that and all that kind of thing. So we just finished kind of producing her EP. So that'll be coming out within the next 2 months.
Also just remember, if you want it, another time that we had words.
Oh.
So
I mean, this is... Now we know what Twanky's been thinking about after he asked me the question.
What have you been doing in London?
Think about it.
While I go through my Rolodex here of temp files.
Twank was like, no, that one was my fault. No, that was my fault. That was also my fault.
I
yeah.
didn't lift the leads that time. No, that was me that drew the cock on that animal. Right, so I'm only joking, but this is a time. So I remember one day we were getting ready. I think we so frequently you would come over to my house pre-gig.
Yeah.
And one day we were sitting doing that pre-gig, like we were just chilling for a wee while before we go out. But I was sitting playing a wee FIFA.
Yeah.
Johnny wouldn't be a FIFA guy, not really a gamer guy.
Not a gamer really. Porsche Challenge was the only game I ever got into. Once.
I'm never really into football.
No, so although my niche knowledge is like late 90s.
You would have a wee bit of
through Tim.
Yeah. Some players. You know who John Hartson is, right? So
Absolutely.
I don't even think you do, but there's other ones that you probably do, right?
I do. I can even go into people's backstories, like Dennis Bergkamp, the non-flying Dutchman.
Yes,
because he had a fear of flying. I don't know who won the league or in what year, but I can tell you your weird facts about him.
Tidbit about Big Dan. So like I remember this. This just came into my head there for whatever reason, and Spike
for whatever reason.
I was sitting doing a wee FIFA, and you know the bit on FIFA where you're in the arena on your own and you're just booting it against the goalie. Well, you and Sheila were sitting talking and I just sitting fucking blasting shots at this cunt. But I was having a nightmare and I kept fucking just booting it over the bar. And you went, you play this a lot, don't you? And I went, yeah. And you went, not very good at it. I mean, you're not even hitting the net. And I was like, play me a match in.
Sauce for milk.
I was like, play me a fucking match in. You were like, no, I'm only joking. I was like, play me a fucking match in.
And you were across the line at that point.
And I was like, no. And our Sheila was just sitting pissing herself laughing. I'm sitting there going, you two fucking.
You're like, one day I will base an entire podcast.
This is my life. I don't understand the music theory.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting that that's one of our biggest falling outs?
Is what?
Was that?
That's
as consequential as it was.
That's like a fault line in our relationship. I'm not over that. Like, I mean, I'm sorry I've even brought it up.
I don't like bringing up FIFA in front of you as a result.
I don't think, but I think it's interesting that we never, for spending so much time together, because we were doing our band, we were doing our side project.
Yeah.
And then we were hanging out
just general hangs. Be like, well, there's not a lot of time between this, so we may as well.
Like I've never had another. Yeah. The only other friendship that I have that has like lasted that length of time, I actually don't see the person very often. So he lives in Armagh.
Right.
So we text each other. We text each other. I know. But I've seen Johnny more often. I never see that. Chloe doesn't even believe this friend of mine exists. She's never met him.
You need to get him to do production on a show.
Sorry,
and then he'd be in your pockets.
When I say she's never met him, she did meet him earlier this year, but it was the first time, and that's like.
And then how much did you pay the actor?
I know, yeah. Like there was one time I was having coffee with his mate. And I took a picture of him and sent it to Chloe, and she was like, "That's a stock photo."
It just says Getty. That's my mate Getty. I
had to get him to write the date down on a piece of paper and hold it up like he was being held hostage, which is sort of like being my friend. But I'm saying I've never had like, I normally either I rub someone up the wrong way or they rub me up the wrong way. So it's very unusual that like.
I'm quite personable.
The crack's still good though.
Yeah,
we had a fucking gag yesterday, like. So yesterday.
You mean working really hard?
Yeah, we were.
Is that
working
what you
right,
mean?
But this is so a couple of other key memories.
Yeah.
When we would have been recording songs, so we didn't have a proper pop guard, so we made one out of an old tight, and
a coat hanger,
a wire.
Get a wire coat hanger. Open it out. Pair of tights. Get them in.
Put the tights around tight. Dan's like beckoning me, and I'm like,
it's a top tip.
I don't know if he wants me to Sub-Zero or anyway. And then so I would stand holding the tights, singing into it. So yesterday, we were recording some backing vocals and some production-y stuff for the Opera House, and
We were doing it in your house,
We're
so
at
it
my
wasn't
house,
acoustically treated.
and it's not very acoustic in there. It's very echoey. So and
We fashioned a vocal cave.
the vocal cave is one of my woolly blankets over me, and the mic is like jammed into the blanket hole, right? Essentially, we made a womb out of a blanket, and I
Yeah.
was the baby, right?
Yeah.
The mic's coming in, right? And I'm sitting there with a popcorn and my phone for the lyrics, being like, "Who?" and headphones on, and Johnny will press play, and then I'm like, "Oh, fucking mental." There's a lot of crack, though, wasn't it? Writing
Sensational.
some of these songs that we've done up in fucking mental.
It's great. Great
It's
process.
So funny. But also then take me back to some Thief gigs. Right?
Yes.
So, can you remember what our first gig was?
I have horrendous memories of anything.
Well,
Auntie Annie's. I agree. Our
Annie's.
first gig was Auntie Annie's, 100%.
I can remember. So, some of my favorite gigs were
Yeah.
ones where we did a couple with Flash Harry
Oh yeah.
that were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The Queen tribute.
Sensational.
They were great. I remember we did one quite early on,
Yeah.
maybe like definitely in our first year as a band,
Yeah.
because I think yous were maybe, yeah, yous would have been
First year uni,
So yous
or-
were first year uni, and we played at a formal.
Oh,
And
that was
some of-
mental. So
some-
that was an interesting thing because like Thief as a band didn't really do covers. We were very
Doing our own shit.
earnest about guys that write music. blah,
How
blah,
would you
blah.
describe our music?
What the Thief sound?
Jazzy.
Jazzy, funky, pop, rock stuff.
It was definitely like jazz
It
influence,
was
like.
hybridy.
It was very hybrid.
Yeah.
was-
Hybrid.
Was it a wee bit hybrid?
Oh,
wee bit-
highbrow hybrid. Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
wee- that's how I
we
would
were,
describe-
we were probably trying to be too clever for our
Do you
own
know how I
good.
would describe it? We didn't want applause. We wanted this. So,
Yeah, it was
I,
it was slam poetry with jazz backing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's.
So like,
But doing that formal, so we got asked. I don't know what
and
the
we had to
connection was
learn
through, and it was like, okay,
bass
guys,
player,
learn.
Maggie
yeah,
got us up.
that's right, Maggie did. And so it was like, well, we got to learn a load of covers because we can't just go up and play original material at some formal.
Yeah,
But
some
obviously,
of the covers that we had.
so we
Do you,
were.
remember, do you know what one? What? I will love it if you will get this. What cover did we do that we never did again? That we ended up, I think we played twice that night.
You're so lovely.
Fucking Scouting for Girls. Oh, no piano in sight.
Oh,
I
sensational!
fucking hate it. It's
and they went mental.
They
and
did,
it was
but
like,
it's
well, I guess
terrible.
we should
It's
play
a
that again.
terrible song to sing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
It was one of those ones.
I
where,
like the way she, and I'm just like, I'm not English. The song
and it was
relies
one of
on
those,
his
but
big,
yeah.
I
know that the other three of us as just bass, drums, and guitar was like, this is great. This is the same thing the
piss
whole way
easy.
through.
Bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum, bum,
Have you
bum,
learned
bum,
the song
bum,
yet?
bum.
It took 2 minutes, and Twanky's like,
I'm
so I have
sitting
to
there
learn
going,
all these lyrics.
I have to learn.
Pretend to be English.
I have to learn the words of like 20 songs here. These are learning 10 chord progressions that you already
that
sort of
is it.
know.
Yeah.
Fucking brutal.
But the good thing about that was
Johnny got attacked that night. Johnny Colgan, remember? Like they all just swarmed the stage and started like
and just
rubbing
started-
his head and
yeah.
licking him and all.
as he's playing drums.
They really
I think,
did.
yeah.
He's
as
literally sitting
he's rocking
fucking-
on drums, and he's just like,
fucking
okay.
giving it rice, and all these people are just like fucking the drummer.
It was a chaotic formal,
was
and
mad.
everything was getting really, really delayed, and everyone was getting very drunk.
We-
and so it was great because we had prepped like, I don't know, an hour and a half of music.
ended up playing
it was
for
like
like 40.
cut. We came on, everyone was steaming,
And
and
we
it was
got paid.
mental.
And we got paid.
Yeah, they're like,
a wee
don't worry
bit.
about paying.
I think we all got like about 50 or 60 quid each.
yeah,
and we were like,
solid. Whoa, mate, come on.
look how many scores we're gonna be able to buy.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like, fuck me, I remember that. I think our most ambitious gig may have been Thief, strung out and brassed off.
Sensational.
Which was our band doing our songs with live brass section and live strings.
And it
Crazy.
was, yeah.
And the
Talk
Annies.
about reaching
70
like
people on stage.
yeah, more people on stage than in the crowd.
In the crowd, yeah. The prep for that was crazy.
Yeah.
We would go do, so like for me, Singing in the morning is like it's the worst. Like you want to give the chords time to heat up and warm up during the day, so that when you do come to exercise,
Nice and easy.
you know,
Nice and easy.
like the only way we could really get that done, because everyone was at uni all doing different things,
Yeah.
was like we're in the fucking library in St. Anne's
That's right.
primary school doing like fucking practice at like practice is like 9:30 to 11:30.
Yeah.
And
you're like,
then being like, is it
I'll be in bed at
I know
10:30.
we're in like this fucking and people. I remember all those classical musicians. Johnny had to like transcribe everything for them,
Yeah,
they're
that's
not
right.
like, it's not like turning around to somebody and going,
do a wee bit of.
do a wee bit of a fucking skip it a
yeah.
bit. It's all like, we need this like
Has to be coordinated.
like, and they all had pencils out and all, and I'm like, fucking learn it, like, because Johnny had already recorded all these bits. He'd already done it all on synth and all. I'm like, fucking learn
Just
it.
play that, man.
And they're sitting there going, Johnny, does that actually last for an extra quarter beat? And I'm sitting there. They wouldn't even say that. That's how. What would they call it? I don't even.
A wee quiver.
A quiver. I'm like, somebody fucking have quivers in here, mate.
Is that a dotted crotchet or is that tied?
And
Is
they're
that...
sitting putting dots on stuff and fucking rubbing out wee notes and all. I'm going, fucking learn it.
That's all part of the joy, Twank. It's all part of the joy.
Oh my god, the cortisol. It's back.
Yeah, it's back.
It's back. Fucking wait, fucking learn it, mate. Oh my god, I was so like, fucking learn it.
But the joy of then it all works together, and you're like, here, mate, this sounds great. This is great.
Unbelievable. But my overriding memory of it is a whole like couple of months of just like, these things are classically trained musicians. How have they not learned this?
No,
Like,
but that's why.
and they all
so
need
the
to-
whole thing is that the classically trained musicians all the time won't learn.
They
the
don't
stuff
learn anything, they're machines.
Because you're gonna just be an absolute technician and just smash it out.
They literally just look at it and go, shabba-dabba-da, and
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking vamp it. Like, do you know what I mean? Just do something.
It's because you're a jazz man. Twank. You're always just vamping, you know. Just
I'm just sitting there in a purple robe and a big cigar. Like, vamp it. I'm a jazz man. Oh, they're so fucking.
But again, it's
it's
the classic. But it's the.
do you know how long this was in fucking 2008 or something?
I was really happy with them. They did us a big favour. They were really, really lovely. Great people. Great nights had.
It was great to be fair. Did we do two of those? I think
We did do
I
two
know
of those.
We definitely did. We definitely did Auntie Annie's.
Yeah, I think we did 2 Annies
Did we?
with them maybe. Fuck. Yeah.
This was. Do you know what's weird as well about those times? Auntie Annie's used to charge you, I believe, £70 for the sound guy basically and the room.
Yeah, yeah.
This was upstairs in Auntie Annie's, and I remember like this was at a time when we would have literally been going, I don't know if we can afford to put
I don't
this
know
gig
if
on, guys.
4 of us together can spare 70
I know,
quid.
but do you know what? A tenner was
That's
worth
it.
so much
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
So like, like if we were like,
This is when we realised
No,
we're
but
actually
I was maybe earning 50 or 60 pound a
140
week.
years old now.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
it's like a tenner was worth a lot of money in those days.
The streets were wider.
I've almost enough left over for a big bag of clippings. Oh man, oh my god, Jesus Christ! The stress of like counting people in the door and people are paying £3
Yeah,
in,
that's horrendous.
and you're going, we need 23 people to get here before, or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Fucking,
We're
yeah.
not there yet.
We're once
still
the,
in the
once the
red.
24th person comes in, we're making money.
We can breathe.
And like people would like arrive fashionably late.
Oh,
Doors
yeah.
are at 8, shows at 9. People start arriving at like 5 to 9. You're
you're
like,
like,
Jesus Christ, fucking
Horrendous.
assholes puckered like because you think you're gonna owe money out.
It is the classic us overreaching though, as in
Yeah.
being a bit too keen to have original material. What's that all about? And then you're like, and then
I don't
and
know
then
about that.
and then we want to have a string section, a brass section as a novelty.
See, but do you know what was weird? Because we had a wee bit of a following, but nothing like what Steer Clear
nothing like
would have.
like you came
So
from
it
like
was
Steer
like-
Clear were doing awesome stuff.
Yeah, it was sort of weird though, because we like I was all original stuff.
Yeah.
And then at every gig, the way we did with Thief, you go,
Yeah.
we're doing a gig, say we're doing 10 songs, we'll do like 9 of our own on a cover, or we'll do 8
Yeah.
of our own on a cover, or 8 of our own on 2 covers. So it was like, you know, we would have done that, or if we're doing, you know, you're doing 7, so you'll do 5 and 2 or 6 and 1, that kind of thing. And so I always think that is the way to do it, is to have your original stuff
Yeah.
like at the forefront of what you're doing. There's hardly anywhere doing that now. Like it's not as
Well, I never
like
felt that,
Empire
yeah.
still has a few nights like that. Those Sony nights still run. The
That's
guy
cool.
Phil used to run those.
from
and
Paola.
I think they still do stuff like that, but it's not as
I never
as,
felt
not
like
as
there
much
was
of that.
There's a big scene. Like I feel like you
There-
guys were
there-
probably part of a scene because of the genre of music.
Yeah. And now that that's gone, I
It's
mean,
like,
even the metal scene here is
Yeah.
still its own thing,
Yeah.
but it's smaller than it was 10 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and then way smaller than it was 20 years ago. It's fucking crazy. Like,
And no real social media. Social media was just kind of like,
oh yeah, definitely.
It's
like
not-
we
it's
were
not
on,
as
we had a
take
MySpace.
it for granted.
We had a MySpace,
Yeah.
and then we had a Facebook.
yeah.
But like there was a few thousand people on it, but nothing.
It's not. It's not like the way Instagram campaigns
Tell me
are
that's so
run
right.
for gigs. Yeah. What?
Do you want to play a wee song?
Oh,
Do you want to?
why?
you?
Why? What do you want to do?
It's 12:15. I can sing now. It's after.
Your post pizza 12:15.
I know. Yeah. I'm
What
ready.
would you want to sing?
I don't know. We could do, if you want to do a Thief original, we could.
Oh Jesus! I would fucking
I just want to say it. I just wanted to say it to see the
blood drain from my face.
the imminent car crash face that you would do.
They just
No, we could play something if you want. Just something to play us out. There's a wee guitar over and everything. Do I have time though?
yeah. He's like, I
Get
don't
the
know.
guitar out and see what it feels like in your hand, right?
Do it.
And when you're doing that, I'll talk about how class Siphon Filter was. So basically, in this game, have I talked about this? Do you remember this game, Frosty? Do you remember the taser in Siphon Filter? So my memory of Siphon Filter is very much you could tase people and you could knock them down with it. And then there was one where you could hold the taser in, and it would. This is unbelievable. What's going on here? Just in case you can't see, Dan just fully. You saw a wee bit of that. Dan just fully just crawled across. If you're going, what was that big hedgehog at the bottom of the screen? It's Dan Quick. So we with the taser, you can cook people on Siphon Filter. Why am I even talking about this? You can cook people and then you can kill them and then you can continue to cook them and they would just go on fire and just stand there going, "Ah!" And I would zoom in on them and all when you were doing it. It was the game wanted you to cook people. And here I played it for hours and turned out fine.
Now that was jazz vamping.
What?
You
That
just
wee bit of
vamped.
chat?
You just vamped there.
Oh, I love
That
it.
was it.
You love a wee vamp?
Yeah.
Have you a pick?
Vamp Morrison.
Do you want a wee pick? Have you got one?
Always.
Oh, he's prepped. He's so prepared.
Now you need to tell me what we're actually
Oh,
doing.
don't you
'cause-
tell me. You tell me as long as it's something I know. As long as it's not fucking dreams.
Could you imagine if I was just that? This is the chord that strikes fear into Twanky. Just that.
Do you want to play the start of it? And people would know it. People would go, "Ah," and I would just be sitting there going, "He's done it to me again. I fucking hate you, Johnny. I can't believe you're fucking making
End
me.
of intro.
Can't believe you're making me play this again." Now there you go again. You say. To be
Professional.
fair, I never did any of those moves. I
No,
just sat
no.
there. Do you know what I did? I sat there totally normally with my hair like this and fingerless gloves on and a nice hockey shirt. My best friend. He never stopped me. He never said, "You alright, mate?" Oh!
It's Sting, mate. You have to.
Oh. I don't drink coffee, I take tea, my dear. I like my toast done on one side. You can hear it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York. See me walking down Fifth Avenue, a walking cane here at my side. I take it everywhere I walk. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York. Oh, I'm an alien. I'm a legal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
Look at that. Still got it.
Modesty, propriety can lead to notoriety. Thanks for joining us. This has been a lot of fun.
Thanks for having
what
me,
have you
mate.
had much going on comedy wise? Or have you anything you want to plug?
No, we'll do more, mate. We'll do more podcasts.
Doing
Yeah.
any gigs in the next 2 weeks?
No gigs. No one should go to the Opera House between the 23rd and the 28th of September. There's nothing exciting happening. There will be no brand new comedy, no exceptional production, and there will be no fun time for all.
No fun time for all.
Okay.
We're gonna go and work out the issues about the times that Johnny slagged me about FIFA and the loads of times that he made me do dreams, and we're gonna deal with all that. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh no.